G'day viewer. Yeah, it's not what it looks like, is it? Just a mongrel Hemi. But when that cover came up at a good price, I couldn't help myself. All right, viewer, it's been a little while. Let me give you a little bit of a heads up about what's been happening. Living here in the southwest of WA makes living expensive. So, if you know, you know. They are doors off a 4-door Torana, and I'll show you what they used to look like. There's a guy up the road at Pinjarra. Reese's Shed is his YouTube channel, and it's absolutely fantastic. He does things on a budget, which I really like, because I've got a budget of, you know, somewhere between zero and just underneath that. And I'll show you what I've been doing. So don't hate me for this, but I'll show you a door repair, and it looks good that it is. But if the other good channel I've found lately is Reese Custom Garage or something like that. Anyway, so here's the Torana sedan driver's door, and geez, you might think that's absolutely horrendous, but it isn't, because even though it looks like a bit of patchwork, it's actually, well, you can see how thin it is there. There's not one area that's probably more than 1 millimetre thick, I reckon. And it's taken a bit of doing, but we've got there. Someone's had 3 or 4 goes at door mirrors, so they all got welded up and ground down and filmed. The other door, the passenger door, that's a bit more interesting. There's a fair bit going on there, so let's go and have a look here. Again, after 50 years, you know, cars have dints and rust and patches, and this is what's happened up here. This one, it is mainly there, and that's again a pretty straightforward fold and weld into position. You know, everything's sort of flat, one fold and a bit of a cardboard template, and that's going to come up pretty good. But what is going to shock you is how I painted the back doors and how I'm going to paint the whole car. And what I've done is I've gone to the paint shop and I've got this stuff. It's, you know, the mix ratio is, you know, 4 of them to 1 of them. And here we go. I didn't even primer it. I just put paint over the top of filler and steel, and they've actually worked out to be not shit. Not great, but not shit. So they're not terrible. It's not terrible. There is, I mean, it does need a little bit more work. If the camera picks it up, there's a couple of marks there because there's filler there, and over here there's a couple of marks. There's a hole there that's got to get taken care of, but they've actually turned out pretty good. So that paint that I showed you, that orange and white can, whatever it's called, I've just mixed it up and reduced it a little bit to make it nice, to flow out good, and they've turned out pretty good. And I reckon from 10 or 15 metres, this car's going to look not terrible. This one, I've had a crack at painting this, and this, what I've used is Valspar paint, and it's called Clear Over Base. What I've also discovered is that Clear Over Base is difficult, and you have to be prepared. I'll show you what I mean. So this is the tail light bucket, and you know, that looks, geez, that looks really nice, right? But with the Clear Over Base, you paint the base first, and then you've got a window of 2 to 6 hours or something like that, where you have to mix up your clear and put the clear on top of it as well. So your timing has to be right, and you have to be prepared, like with the clear and the hardener and the reducer. And yeah, it just takes planning, and your time management has to be pretty damn fantastic. So that's the back. I did the back bit because this bit actually has to be painted silver later anyway, and I just wanted to have a practice. Plus the, the bumper bar hides that bit, and then you can barely see that when you walk up the car anyway. For the rest of the car, I can't do it myself. You need a booth, you need that controlled environment to stop all the widgets and, bugs and dust and stuff sitting on it. So, there is a limit to what you can realistically do in a shed, I suppose. Yeah, so that's where we're at. This is the one that's getting sold shortly. As soon as it's in colour, I'm going to buy a front end kit from Hemi Performance. They do all the ball joints and tie ends, and I'll get that back together and get it licensed, and then and move it on, because I need the space. Yeah, I really need the space. Progress on the charger is a little bit limited, but I'm going to have a look in there, and boy oh boy, there is 50 years of sins in here as well. The boot floor section should be a pretty straightforward job, and it will be, but what I've discovered is that, here's a good example. In the past, the previous people have used, bronze, probably bronze, and they've put it absolutely everywhere. So unpicking the boot floor from the chassis rails is an absolute nightmare. You've got to use die grinders, angle grinders, any damn thing you can get hold of, and it's a bit of a dirty, shitty job. You've got to put the earplugs in, wear your safety glasses, and a dust mask as well, because you don't want to be breathing in all the stuff that comes off that. And even these brackets here, like, I don't know why they did it, but they put a big square bit over the top there, and there's just no need to do that. So I've had to buy a whole sedan, a rear cut, just to unpick these bits and replace them, because they're beyond, there's nothing I can do with that. I mean, it's beyond my level of skills anyway. So there it is back there, and they're a bit involved too. They're spot welded in, so you've got to find, all these things here, and unpick them, and then try and chisel it out without damaging too much of the rest of the car. And of course, I've got this nightmare. Still looking for a cut off a car. That'd make life easier. Or I could probably fold it up and weld it, but we'll see what happens. And that size is reasonable, but there's a heap of sins in there, so that's a job for next year. The Hyundai Excel HVAC system is still all go, and thanks to my son becoming a bit of a 3D printing guru, I've got to get my spacing right, but he's going to print up a triangle adapter to buy me a bit of space. I have to space it out about 200 mil for the spacing to be right, so you can reach the controls from a normal position in the dashboard. Really looking forward to that, but there's just a fair bit of work to do, and too many projects and not enough time. Well, that's an awesome tool as well. Little compressor, and because it's so long and flat, when you're dealing with big, long, flat doors like this, that stuff really is a lifesaver. It makes the job quicker and flatter, and oh yeah, fun. And even when the neighbours get grumpy because it's loud and noisy, you can move to that that one there. And what else was I looking for? Hang on a minute. The little old hook and loop for those little areas, And like everyone, I just watch what real panel beaters do on TV, and they start with 36 or 40 and then work their way, 80, 120 and all that sort of stuff. So I'm not doing anything other than that. Anyway, I think that'll do for now. I know it's been a damn long time, but Sometimes life gets in the way and things happen. Everyone's got a story. Anyway, take it easy. Talk to you later. See ya.